Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we've got a big gulp in our left hand and the mouse in our right, ready to watch Hera playing as the blue Celts take on JorDan playing as the red Vikings. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Celts, a civilization built around the need for speed. Their lumberjacks work faster, which is great because the Celts need a lot of wood for their primary focus, which is the siege unit. Celtic siege workshops work faster, their siege units fire faster, and all siege workshop units can be upgraded to get extra hit points. Now, coming back to the need for speed, Celtic infantry move faster than normal starting in Feudal. Their castles and towers can be upgraded to fire faster, and their unique unit, the Woad Raider, is the second fastest infantry unit in the game and comes with a good amount of HP and a decently strong attack. Now, in order to support a hungry, growing population, the Celts can convert and steal enemy herdables even if they're standing next to your unit. So be very, very careful when you're playing against a Celt, especially if you ever play against a Celt as good as Hera. Now, our red Vikings, a civilization primarily focused on its infantry. Starting in Feudal, all infantry units get more HP and can be upgraded to get an attack boost against cavalry and camel units. The boost benefits the first unique unit of the Vikings, the Berserker, a durable, well-armored, strong infantry unit whose health automatically regenerates at a rate of 20 HP per minute, although this can be upgraded to a massive 40 HP regeneration per minute. Now, to support a production of their military as fast as possible, Vikings get both the wheelbarrow and the handcart upgrades for free, which saves them not only the resources required to research these upgrades, but also the time required as well. So the second our red Viking hits Feudal, the second he hits Castle, these villagers will start being much, much more efficient. Now, while the players continue exploring and herding and going up, let's take a look at the bases that they're located in Hera. Fairly okay to wall off in the front here. I mean, once these apples, cranberries, whatever these bushes, forage bushes are, disappear, he'll have to wall off the entire south of his base. The west, very safe, very secure, very thick forests, which should stop our Viking player from being able to reach these villagers with, early game archers. The eastern portion of his base completely open, very exposed from the east. Gold pile, nice and secure right next to the base in the back. Primary stone, a little bit exposed. Would do well, I think, to take this high ground, even something as simple as a house, just to make sure your opponent does not get it. JorDan, on the other hand, his gold a little bit further out and exposed in the entire open western frontier of his base. His primary stone, very far away, tucked away, though, in the back. His base, much, much harder to wall off. The front few tiles here are easy, but the west, the south, and the northeast, completely open. So, advantage here to Hera, who has the safer gold, the easier wall off to the south and to the west, but he is exposed to the east, while his opponent is exposed to the west. Age of Empires, not a game. Oh, Hera lost his scout trying to teeth some herdables. Okay, very good catch here for JorDan. While we were talking about the Civ features and balances, both players getting loom at almost the exact same time at the 18 villager count. And let's see what the players decide to do. As I was about to say, Age of Empires, when you play it yourself, just understand there's a few basic principles of the game, one of which is it's never going to significantly, I mean, very rarely, but almost never really significantly disadvantage one player against the other when it comes to spawning location. For example, with Hera's gold being, 3 or 2 tiles away from his base, you're never going to see your opposing player with gold all the way over here, for example, the primary gold. So you know if your base is fairly open, that your opponent's base is fairly open as well. If it's fairly closed off, you know that your opponent's base is also fairly closed off. Hera, though, needs to close this little gap right away. Once he does that and maybe builds a wall, a palisade here, this pile of wood is going to be incredibly secure. JorDan seeing the perimeter of his opponent's base, sees the lumberjacks, where they are, what they're trying to do, and let's see what he does with this information. Hera, on the other hand, once he lost that scout, complete darkness, complete radio silence from his unit, which bit the dust. We'll see how quickly he manages to get out on the map. Hera, a player who generally loves to scout, loves to see what his opponent is doing, loves to be able to know where to attack, where to retreat from, what the weak points, the strong points, the elevation, every little bit of information allows players who have played thousands and thousands of games to better optimize their attack and better optimize their defense. Now, while I've been rambling on about all this stuff, both players are now in Feudal. JorDan, the only one with any kind of military, just because, again, Hera did lose his trying to teeth some of these geese that were here before, these turkeys, rather. And now let's see, Hera building a second archery range. Okay. And our Viking player already has one of the two requirements for Castle the Stable, pumping out another scout. I see a few red dots out on the map, so these two scouts are going to meet up, have a party, hang out, and then turn around and try to go do something at Hera's base. We'll see what JorDan can accomplish here. Another structure going down, archery range. Very popular in the meta right now for Vikings to go heavy archery range if you can make it to the late game, arbalests, things like that. But for now, JorDan nowhere close to arbalest. 88 food and 50 gold in the bank in Feudal Age. So we'll leave it to him. Like I always say, the Civ features, Civ bonuses, Civ advantages, disadvantages are one thing, but ultimately in the hands of a player, it is what the player makes of it. JorDan has to disengage here, though. It's a lot of villagers trying to take him down, but he'll catch two archers. We'll get at least one. Let's see if he can get two. No, shoot away by the presence of two skirmishers, even though they really don't do much against this scout cavalry. They attack on a two. But now his partners are here with him. Oh, no. Could he have gotten this archer? I don't know. But he will get the other one. Okay, good. JorDan doing a good amount of work here. 3 kills to the 0 of Hera so far. And he's already out on the map with a structure. I see a few dots here. Okay, he killed a deer. And now he's bringing the meat back home. This is a good amount of meat for him. So what will he do with all that extra food? For now, building villagers. Building skirmishers is JorDan. Hera trying to wall off his base. He sees all the cavalry. He does not want to have to deal with any kind of crazy feudal age cavalry aggression, which is exactly what's happening right now. Although JorDan trying to very cheeky to skirt the edges of Hera's base, of Hera's town center, rather. I suspect what he was trying to do there, in addition to getting map vision, was maybe to try to get Hera to garrison these villagers, to idle them, to make sure that they're not productive, not gathering any more food. But Hera setting up a bit of a sandwich here. JorDan smells it, sniffs it out, and runs away right out of the only opening left of Hera's base. And Hera immediately plugs the hole, immediately closes off that avenue for JorDan, who is now building a blacksmith out on the map. This is an incredibly forward wall off, but it is what you have to do. And this forest here actually shaped pretty much like Australia, no? Am I tripping balls, or is this this mini forest here shaped like Australia? In any event, if any Aussies are here from down under, let me know if I'm off my rocker completely. If not, JorDan continuing to wall it off. But as I said, you work with what you have. This is very far away, but because his villagers are here, he can easily defend this. A bit of an engage here in the center. JorDan coming forward with a bunch of his own skirmishers, 7 skirmishers against 5 archers, 3 skirmishers, and a spearman. These 2 scout cavalry, I mean, they're at this point of the game. Look at their HP. They're at a third of their HP. Their job here is to take a few arrows from these archers to die and give the red skirmishers an opportunity to close the distance and get a few archers of his own. Always good to trade food units for gold units. A few more red dots streaming across the map here. We have 2 more skirmishers heading north to the battlefield. For now, both players with incredible micro. Let's take a look at the APM. 176 for Hera, 91 for JorDan. Hera pulling the crazy micro here. I said this, I think it was during a live, that if you want to see just how impressive Hera's APM is, and remember, when I say that, I don't mean to in any way say that JorDan's APM is not impressive or other players are not impressive, but Hera in particular, go to the YouTube channel of ACCM and see. He has a few shorts, or a few rather short videos, where he basically stands next to some of these players. You were talking about the Hera, the Viper, and he shows their hands on the keyboard. He shows their screen. And the way Hera has set up, or in that, I guess in that video, set up his control groups, he was switching between screens like a demon. His APM was off the charts, clicking control groups. Is just very impressive to watch. So I'm not surprised that Hera's APM here approaching 200 at the 18-minute mark of the game. But what has he got? He's got 6 skirmishers, 5 archers, making their way to the center of the battlefield. He outnumbers his opponent 2-1 in military count because his opponent sent his scout with 2 HP to explore. Not a bad idea. That scout is basically going to contribute nothing at this point, especially when you're outnumbered here 2-1 in the center of the battlefield, now probably closer to 3-1. Although with the high ground, does manage to get a few extra attack points when he shoots his javelin. But Hera slowly, methodically, calmly pushing JorDan back from the perimeter of his base to the perimeter of JorDan's base. Would love to see some kind of melee unit mixed in here, but doesn't really have to. He is up to castle, a minute and a half away, a full 60 seconds, it seems like, ahead of his opponent, who is continuing to scout the map. Let's take a look at Hera's scouting. Usually, again, Hera very on point with scouting, but at this point, he scouted one thing and one thing only. I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. He scouted an attack path to his opponent. And that basically tells me Hera wants to put on the aggression. I don't see any other units exploring the south of the map, the north of the map. Relics be damned. He does not care about extra resources out on the map. He wants to know, where is JorDan and what's the fastest way I can kill him. In the game, of course. In the game, of course. Hera putting on the pressure with a few ranged units here, 10 seconds away from castle. We'll see what he does when he gets up. But skirmisher's able, skirmisher on skirmisher violence is always pretty slow. They both have good, you know, they're both pretty weak and basically feudal age. Hits castle, immediately plops down a town center, immediately plops down a siege workshop. We are, of course, talking about the Celts. And so the siege workshop is a no-brainer. 25 seconds away is our red Viking, who is getting cavalry upgrades, although the forging upgrade also applies to his infantry. But I saw the scale barding armor, or rather the first defensive upgrade for him go down. His scout scared to explore. You have 2 HP, but still nothing out on the map can really kill you at this point. Crossbows coming out for Hera, and the pressure continues, although all blue dots on the minimap have ceased to move forward, and he's just going to be pesky and annoying with these 4 crossbows and this one poor unupgraded skirmisher. 5th crossbow makes his way here, but now we've got some Viking knights roaming the southern patrolling rather the southern portion of this particular expansion of Red's base. Hera with a 3rd town center. He's going to be light years ahead of his opponent when it comes to villagers. But the second you see the knights, you have to disengage with these crossbows. They're going to kill them very quick. I love this tree. Rainforest. Interesting. This looks more like a weeping willow to me, but definitely, and the macaw. Sorry, guys. I know there's action on the map, but I love this game so much. I love all these little tiny details. Beautiful attack round here by Hera, getting a shit ton of HP off these knights with, and another one with the crossbows, with the town center. All aggression here by JorDan has been completely stopped with these 2 knights, but he's coming forward with skirmishers, more red dots streaming across the minimap, but he keeps taking these giant rock balls to the face. He needs to do something about that mangonel, at least disengage until your units are stronger. Does again have the now he has a +2 melee on these knights, and I guess +2 pierce as well. And circling Hera's base, trying to see, you know, the mangonel is over here, but mangonels are slow. They don't move particularly fast, so my knights, which move literally twice as fast, more than twice as fast. Let's see if I can do anything with those, is I'm assuming JorDan's logic. More knights streaming across the map. Another scout cavalry built. I guess just to replace this one. If you're not going to use them, might as well kill him, no? Why you don't need... Look, your supply block, JorDan, is at 70. If you're not using a unit, if it's got 2 HP, just don't get too attached. This is Age of Empires. Just highlight the unit and hit that delete key. Okay, very aggressive forward siege workshop here by our Viking player, who's sending how many villagers to build it? 2. Okay, so he's not looking to put on any immediate pressure. Otherwise, that would have been a lot more than 2 villagers. These crossbows should be able to get rid of these very weak, unupgraded skirmishers. They are not elite, although they do have a +1 defensive upgrade. Nice. Oh, God, take a look at this dog shit HP. They are at half their HP right now. Might do well to build a monk, and as I say that, he starts producing a monk. Both players sitting on 3 town centers. Both players, let's take a look at their villager count. Let's see what their economies tell us about which direction they want to take the game. JorDan sitting at 66 villagers after this production cycle is over. Not a lot on stone, although more and more, I'm assuming, will come out eventually. Hera also on 3 town centers, but on the back of 81, going up to 83 villagers. So Hera very much focused right now on growing the economy that he needs in order to produce, I'm assuming, a giant death ball of units. Oh, God. Oh, no. Keeps losing his knights, does JorDan. And now we've got a mango war. Whose micro will be better? Is there a second one coming out? There is not. Wisely bringing these villagers to retreat, but to repair, but that won't matter if he takes a direct hit. And these crossbows are going to be so freaking annoying to deal with. Hera's micro just insane. Absolutely insane here. Splits up his units, puts them back into line formation, and then retreats. We've got 1 knight trying to do something here. How many kills on him? 0. So mission not accomplished for Bob the Knight over here. But now, JorDan, take a look at his vision of Hera's base. He essentially has completely ringed his opponent from the north, from the east, and from the south. The problem is, can he capitalize on this? He has to engage into 3 mangonels. With this amount of knights, I don't think he should be super scared to do that. These crossbows are going to get back, but they're going to get back very, very slowly. Okay, mangonel comes out for JorDan, immediately dies. Okay, 1 mango, 2 mango, 3 mango, floor. Okay, never mind. Where's this 1 monk? Did he snipe? No, he didn't snipe the monk with this guy. Where are these monks? Somebody somewhere sniped the monk that was trying to convert JorDan's knights. Tries to Viper wall of the knights. Gets him. Oh my God, what a kill zone here. And the monk comes out at the perfect time. JorDan losing his entire cavalry force in the center of the map. 1 remaining knights with a massive kill count of 0. Trying to bust into the south of Hera's base. Hera says, LOL, try all you want. I don't give a F. I am moving out onto the center of the map, although it has to be careful. Oh, this is so pleasing on the eye to see 2 by 2 by 2 by 2, isn't it? Is anyone else like that? A little bit of OCP with this game, with the checkerboard patterns that it has. You know, we like to structure our buildings, our units a certain way. Or am I the only one? I imagine I can't be the only one in this game. It's so easy to do it. Okay, 2 mangoes out for red, who now outnumbers his Celtic opponent 2-1 in terms of mangonel count. Let's see if they notice each other here. Oh, he's so lucky he's on the high ground. Took a shot to the face, didn't die, but should die. Oh, no, never mind. I thought he was going to die there. I thought that mango hit. That'll definitely kill Hera's mango, but loses the villager, has to retreat here, producing yet another one. Okay, let's, the players have disengaged. Let's zoom out. Let's take a look at what we're working with. We've got 2 archery ranges, 2 stables, and a barracks for our Viking player. We've got 2 archery ranges, a siege workshop, a barracks, and I believe that is it for our Celt player, who is happy to rest on the laurels of his feudal age archer build. Castle coming out for red, though. Love the location. Just enough high ground to get a defensive and an offensive upgrade, or rather advantage. king of the hill, no high ground around unless Hera takes the long way and makes himself at home here. Oh no, no, don't walk into the Jaguar's path. Oh, let's watch this. I love watching these animations. Poor Jaguar. Oh, he's just trying to paw at her, pays the price. And now we've got Mangoes harassing Hera's perimeter. A 1-for-1 kill. Oh god, yeah, you can't take crossbows. Generally not the strongest unit, you know. But to take on these unupgraded mangonels definitely can do it, especially when you clump up 18, 19, 20 of them. Both players almost identical timing to Imperial. I'm very surprised. A minute, less than a minute for both. Does get a few more crossbows here. Another castle for JorDan. We've got Berserkers on the way. You love to see these units. They are so much fun to watch. The first converted his opponent's villager. Did JorDan, or maybe he reconverted the unit that he himself had lost to a convert. I didn't see particularly, but yeah, with the regeneration, the Viking Berserker. Oh no, Hera has to be careful here. Losing way too many crossbows, although that is the point of crossbows in this stage of the game. Unless you're planning on going arbalests, they really at this point have outlived their usefulness. Again, the high ground saves him from a direct shot. Not from that, though. Oh, and now 2-for-1. And he's going to lose the villager as well. Okay, so a lot of contesting of this gold pile, but another castle. 28 villagers on stone. I was wondering where the hell is JorDan getting all of this stone. Not hard when you've got 28 villagers on stone. He is going up to 10 berserkers. What is Hera doing? Getting ranged upgrades, getting man-at-arms, getting scale barding armor, scale mail armor rather. If you've watched my cast, you know I get easily confused between the defensive upgrade names. They're very, very similar. But here they come with their red capes, their horned hats, attacking on a 12+1 or a base attack of 12. That's bonko. And let's see what they can do here. A defensive, very defensive castle here for Hera. He does not want to lose control of this stone. Sees the knight. Knight, I'm assuming, is going to die the second that castle comes up. Another castle going down for JorDan, who is now engaging to the north with berserkers. I was going to say, in my opinion, these were I'm sorry guys, I keep interrupting myself. In my opinion, the berserkers with their regeneration are the OG shock unit in this game. And when I say shock unit, I mean generally a unit. We've got a Celtic berserker. Run, 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 run. Don't take any archer fire. And he is also going to regenerate, even though he is a Celtic berserker. But when I say shock troops, I mean things like the Custelier, where you attack, you have a bonus, and then a timer comes down, or a Shrivamsha rider, or an Urumi swordsman. Something that has an ability that is increased initially, and then there's a timer that resets. In my opinion, the berserkers were the first shock unit because they can regenerate. You engage into a battle, you run away. Oh god, do not engage into this though. Berserkers are strong, but long swordsmen are decent as well. Two-handed swordsmen on the way. More and more infantry upgrades going down for Hera. Defensive structures upgrades going down for our Viking player, who wants to make sure these castles are really tough to get down. But 4 trebuchets on the way for JorDan. Hera sitting at 1, going up to 3. Now this town center is not going to survive very long. What are you firing at, Mr. Treb? You are firing at your opponent's Trebs. Has to be careful. Let's take a look at the upgrades. Hera with a +1/+2. JorDan with a +2/+3. So, oh, did he research Berserker Gang? Berserker Gang, remember in the beginning of the game I mentioned how Berserkers regenerate HP at the rate of 20 HP per minute. But with Berserker Gang, it goes up to 40 HP per minute. I can't imagine that was the chieftain upgrade. Oh, he's got to get rid of these Trebs though. Another castle going down for our red Viking. He is just building static defense left, right, and center. Unfortunately for him, these guys are going to become champions in 3 seconds. He's got to get these, yeah, these are elite now, attacking on a 16 to the 15 of the champions, although in 45 seconds, Hera will also have an attack upgrade boost for his infantry. Oh, these trebuchets, they are not doing much here. What's the point of these guys? Oh god, these trebs shelling away from a distance, getting a villager, getting a berserker who dies with his shield. Come back with your shield or on it, says Hera to this berserker, who now is engaging into a bunch of champions with the final attack upgrade, Blast Furnace Research. Hera wisely choosing to engage at this moment. I don't know who to call this for. I'll just sit and enjoy this massacre. Oh no, way too many champions. Way too many champions here. Where the hell are the rest of his berserkers? He's got 37 berserkers. Why are there only 9 of them here? Oh god, what a horrible engage here for JorDan. How many kills on these champions? 23 berserkers they killed. Now they're coming in for more. Oh, okay. Very interesting. Okay, that was interesting. Like I said, let's take a look at why Hera decided to tap out here. But before we do, let's take a look at this battle. I think that I thought that was much closer than it would. That was a complete blowout here for Hera. 44 elite berserkers, 46 champions. How many reinforcing ones do we have here? Only 5. Okay. So let's take a look. I mean, JorDan gives up the high ground here, which, you know, may have had to do that because of Hera. Okay, I see 3 berserkers to the north peel off immediately to attack these villagers. Okay, Treb's moving forward. Oh, God. Okay, peels off even more. 11 berserkers. Okay, we're not going to count this one because he's very far away. 10 berserkers peel off. And now what's left to engage here? 31 berserkers against 51 champions. Take a look at the HP. This is literally 1200 HP of difference in the units. I don't know why JorDan took this fight. I mean, obviously he wins the game, but let's take a look at what ends up happening. 10 berserkers. Okay, disengages. Brings these 3 back. Smart. 1 reinforcement goes north for some bizarre reason. We'll keep an eye out on these trebs. These berserkers going berserk on the trebs. Okay. I mean, berserkers so far winning on the left, losing on the right, so it's evening out. Let's take a look how many trebs are left. Okay, managed to get 1 treb here. The 4th one wisely retreating, but there's a berserker hot on its tail. Okay. But let's see. Forget the trebs for a moment. Let's see what actually ends up happening here. Hera left with 4 trebs. We'll keep an eye on that. Before we do, how many champions do we have here? Okay, 44 champions against 23. You're literally outnumbering your opponent 2-1 at this point. Not a good engage for JorDan. Loses the right flank. And once he loses the right flank, it leaves these berserkers to be surrounded on the left flank, which is exactly what happens. So Hera taking a pretty good fight here. Let's see if we can figure out, understand why he decided to tap out to GG. And now he'll come forward. He'll get a few more kills here. Okay. I mean, he's been knocked down to 1 treb, which is here alone exposed. So all the 4 trebs here went down. Maybe that's why he quit. He's got Viking berserkers to the right. He's got Viking to the left, rather. Sorry, guys. He's got Viking berserkers to the north. JorDan streaming in berserkers everywhere, ripping apart his Hera's economy. Hera at 112 villagers. Let's take a look at how many of these villagers are in danger. No more. Oh my god. First of all, he massacres this entire settlement expansion here, does JorDan. Not a single villager left. Look at all these corpses on the ground. These berserkers, probably 1 or 2 will die, if not all of them, to this castle. Although, no, never mind. There's 8 villagers in the castle itself, but this is now exposed. 0.97, 1.15. Berserker can catch up to these guys all day long. These champions are engaging into a castle zone. Their pierce armor horseshit at 3. I don't think he'll even be able to get any of these trebs, which are being pulled back now. Sorry, I'm trying to click on the treb. There's still 4 of them. Yeah, still 4, all 4 here. Red Viking continuing to build berserkers, although his gold count, rather his food and his gold count is healthy. His food and wood count, though, abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. But with 56 villagers on food, 30 on wood, he should be able to balance his economy very quickly. But there's just too many red dots all over. Oh, God, there's not a single unit to protect this against anything except the castle. And take a look. 5 pierce armor is not terrible. They're reaching the wood line here. Hera is just being pulled apart. I mean, 13 idle villagers drops him to below 100 productive villagers compared to the 118 of his opponent. Plus, he's going to lose a bunch of these 6. He's going to lose a few more farmers. I like Hera's castle placement, though. I mean, tell me if you agree, disagree, but a castle here, this is a fantastic castle. I wish there was a hill here for it to be on. It would be the platonic ideal of a castle, defending the stone, defending the gold, defending the farms, defending every single one of the 4 resources of the game. The only problem is that it's in a state of depression here, so anything on the high ground can easily do extra attack damage against it. Another castle in the center, covering a bit of these farms. Town center, not going to last long against berserkers. Again, attack on an 18. What's their attack speed? 2. Okay, so fairly average attack speed, but he is just being pulled apart everywhere. Hera's map vision. Let's take a look at what he actually sees of the map. Absolutely nothing beyond his base. Incredible here. He sees this entire wall of castles. He assumes correctly that his opponent is just going to continue streaming Viking berserkers at him, and if he doesn't, he's at least going to pull some of them back to regenerate their health. Remember, this guy will go up to 66 health in a 1 in-game minute, and Hera's resources are just terrible. He's got the numbers advantage here in the center, but I mean, if these were, for example, Cavaliers, Paladins, something quick, I would say he could pivot west, he could pivot north. But these champions are super slow. They walk on a 1.3 or move on a 1.3. He tried a little cheeky garrisoning here. I saw of a few. Let me show you. I don't know if we caught it, but he tried to garrison a bunch of these champions. I don't know if that's. I don't think it's to heal them. They look like they're in perfect HP. But I don't know. Yeah, the infantry in here, they don't add any kind of attack to the town center, right? They're not villagers, they're not ranged units. So I only 2 options really here. Either he made a mistake and he clicked it, and I don't think that happened because it's Hera. I think he was maybe trying to ambush or trying to surprise his opponent, or maybe hold back a reserve force in case once he saw how this battle went, to see if he even needed them. And that way, if he didn't, he could send them north, he could send them south to deal with these berserkers. God, these guys managed to get all the trebs. They don't look like a very tanky unit. They've got 74 HP, but 5 pierce, 5 melee armor, and the regeneration every 3 in-game seconds, 1 HP up. Except now when they're upgraded, and it's every, 40 HP in 60 seconds. Somebody better at math than I am, please let me know what that works out to. But basically, every second and a half, it seems like, their HP goes up by 1. So they are incredibly tanky. And today I learned something, that they are gingers. They do have the orange hair, something I never really paid attention to before. But JorDan establishing himself on the map with these big, solid, immovable objects, upgrades them all the way up to 5280 HP. He's got architecture on the way. Did that finish before the game ended? Let's take a look. Yes, it did. Look at their HP jumped up to 5808, added, I believe, another 10%, added even more armor on them. And Hera sees all this. Remember, he's got the vision of these castles. He can click on this and see that it's at 5808 to the 4800 of his. His resources are gone. JorDan is just attacking him everywhere he can. And even though he took an absolutely abysmal engage here in the center of the map, JorDan ultimately takes the W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.